What's up, guys? So, the first original video that I posted last night was about 20 minutes long, and that was removed from Facebook. I didn't curse, I didn't say anything wrong, I didn't say anything bad. All that I did was just simply, well, watch this video, you'll understand it. But Facebook took it off because they said it was not within the community guidelines. So, if you ask me, kind of seems like it's a little bit like communism or socialism, where somebody has control over your right to freedom of speech. But anyways, we're not going to get into that right now. Right now, we're going to get into a serious topic here. The world is freaking out about this coronavirus stuff. Coronavirus itself is not what's scaring me. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm in pretty good health. I have no health issues. I know that I'll be fine. My daughter will be fine. My family members, usually somewhat pretty healthy. My mom, she's a strong woman. She would look coronavirus directly in the face and be like, I ain't got time for this shit. I gotta go sell houses. Because that was exactly what my mom would say. But in the reality of it, and I mean this is the absolute truth, is more than likely we will have a collapse in our society. What I mean by a collapse in society is an economical collapse. We are already having an education collapse where the education system is just completely shut off for the next 30 days, which makes sense. I get it. Children are very, they got to touch everything all the time. They got to be hands-on, and, they tend to not take care of their personal hygiene as much as they should. They come home, they get grandma sick, mom, dad sick, whatever. That's okay. That's cool. I agree with the school shutting down. The school system shutting down. I think that's a great idea. But you guys are going nuts, going bananas over toilet paper. What are you guys going to do when there's a food shortage? What are you guys going to do when the United States, or even just New York alone, gets quarantined? What do you do in 3 hours when there's no more food on the shelves? When there's nothing? So everybody's going to freak out. Everybody's going to break in local businesses. They're going to go to Stewart's. They're going to go into Cumbies, try to take whatever that they can, buy whatever that they can. Some will steal. Some will pay for it, but whatever. The other thing that you need to consider is a fuel shortage because of this. If we are quarantined, which is a very high likelihood that we will be quarantined. If the trucks stop, the truckers on the road stop, they can't deliver food, they can't deliver equipment, they can't deliver medical equipment, 911 stops, everything stops, we have a fuel shortage, our electrical grid, power grid will go down for sure, 110% for sure, we will be without power. And the reason is because our electrical system, our grid, always needs work, always needs repair, but if there's no people that are able to go out and repair it and work on it, then it's just going to go out. Recently, we've been having some really crazy winds. We've been having some really weird weather. There's been, we had a little earthquake. There's just so much change out there right now. It is absolutely ridiculous. So you guys need to be prepared and be calm. Calm down. You guys are worried about toilet paper. Has any one of you called your doctor, maybe asked for a few extra meds? Your doctor will more than likely give it to you. Your insurance company will cover it. Try to get a 3-month supply of medication if you can, or at least the next 30 days if you can. So call up your doctor and just say, hey, listen, I'm going on vacation for the next 2 or 3 months, and just try to stock up a little bit on your medication, because if the truck stops, you're not getting medication. There is no 911. There is no, there won't be, hey, we need to call the police on this because we're quarantined. How's that gonna work? There was a family over in Italy, and the husband had died, and they left him in the house for weeks because there's no emergency staff that can get there to him. If you are quarantined, whether if you're law enforcement, whether if you're military, whether if you're a rescue worker, it doesn't matter. more than likely you're going to worry about yourself and you're going to worry about your family more so than anybody else. So this is going to bring me on to the next point, is the collapse and the panic of society and how to react. Worst case scenario, not saying that it is going to happen, but worst case scenario, let's just say that...
Sean, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, no problem, buddy.
I'm heading out.
Okay, man. Drive safe. Love you, buddy.
Alright, okay.
So, like, let's...
Kylo's still outside. You want me to keep him out there?
Yeah, I'll get him out of there in a minute.
Alright.
So, like, let's say that, like, there's nothing more on the shelves. I've been going hysterical trying to look for chicken breast. I'm not worried about toilet paper, like, whatever, you know? Knowing when to shop, knowing where to shop, and knowing how to shop is a very, very big thing. But let's say that you're not able to shop anymore, and let's say that you're quarantined. What about all the people that don't have the money to be prepared correctly? They're going to loot and riot businesses. When they discover that there's nothing more left in businesses, when there's nothing more left in the store, when there's nothing on the shelves anymore, they're going to come to your house. And this is the God's honest truth. And I'm not doing this to scare you guys, but just something that you guys need to consider and need to think about. I've been practicing preparedness, emergency preparedness, for like the past 20 years. So if I can preach a little bit to you guys, maybe get somebody on board, just listen to my tips, just hear me out. If they go into a store and there's nothing in there anymore, they break windows, whatever, you know, people don't care. They'll steal. If they find this on the floor, they'll steal it. It's just an empty yogurt pack that my dog was chewing on, but they don't care. They'll steal it anyways, just to have it. So they will come into your house, and sometimes you got to watch out for the tricksters too. You know, the people that say, "Oh, help me, you know, or help my baby," and then you let them in because you feel bad for them. They come into your home, and it's not a baby that they're packing. Instead, they pull out a shotgun, or they pull out, how did Joe Biden say it again? Oh, yeah, an AR-14. Yeah, what if they pull out one of those AR-14 things, and they just start spraying around your house just to steal your goods? Okay, so, like, joking aside, though, like, that is an absolute reality. Or, like, what if they pull a knife on you or your family, and you're unprepared and you're unprotected? What are you going to do? This is reality. There's a lot of dirtbags out there who don't care about you. Nobody's going to care about you. It's going to be everybody for everybody. It's going to fend for themselves. So here's some simple ways to avoid it. Number one, learn very, very quickly a little bit of self-defense. Learn how to protect your home, protect your area, know your surroundings, watch your neighbors, watch the people coming up and down the road. Just kind of be on guard a little bit if society collapses. I'm not saying do that right now, but I'm just saying, like, in this direction. Everybody says stockpile, but at this point, guys, honestly, it's almost too late for that. We're at the point right now where we should have been stockpiling like a month ago, and nobody did. Nobody wanted to listen. Everybody said that we were all crazy, we were all cuckoo, like redneck, hillbilly, Republican, Donald Trump supporters who don't know our shit, and look at us now. Better yet, guys, look at you now. You guys are fighting over toilet paper and, like, paper products. So there are a few other places I do know of that have a lot of toilet paper, and they have a lot of, like, sanitary wipes and hand sanitizers. If you cannot buy hand sanitizer, you can make hand sanitizer. So look that up on your own. Another serious thing to look into is, like, let's say that you're sitting here at your home and you're looking out the window. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of my window because I love the light in here. It makes me, like, look brighter, except for this shadow, but whatever. I'm sitting here and I'm looking out the window right now and just watching all the traffic drive by. So let's say I'm sitting here and I'm watching my neighbor's house getting raided by a bunch of other people, by a group of people. Okay, now at that point in time, you have less than a minute and a half to get yourself and your family out of that situation, or put yourself in a self-defense situation where you're able to defend your home in any way possible. So if you need to leave your house for about 3 days. You need to make yourself a 72-hour bag, or known as a bug-out bag. What is in a bug-out bag is it's a backpack, preferably a backpack, because you don't want to, like, walk around carrying, like, you know, your Louis Vuitton, you know, huge bag. It should be a backpack, should be waterproof. Everything inside of your backpack should be in a Ziploc bag, waterproof. You should have socks, you should have toilet paper, napkins, whatever. You should have first aid kit in there. You should have something that you can maybe cook water on. Water and food are your two main biggest things for survival for 3 days. If you have any medications, you better make sure that you have medications already in that bag. Pretty much everything that you need to sustain 3 days worth of healthy living. Toothbrush, toothpaste. My Alexa, she loves floss is a priority in her life, so of course there's floss in her bag. Ways to purify water. There's a thing that's out there right now that I love it. It's called a life straw. They're a little expensive, like $20, but a life straw is pretty much you can drink water from a pissy mud puddle, and you'll be safe, you'll be fine. The average rule of thumb when you're on the move and you're panicking is for sure 1 gallon of water a day. You need to make sure that you're able to process and purify dirty water if you can. You also need to be able to sustain a little bit of life, so therefore a little bit of food. Look into foods that are light to carry but high in calorie. For example, peanut butter is a really good thing. Rice is another really good thing. Jello is a really great thing. Make sure to have some kind of candy on you, because if you're on the run, your sugar levels will drop. Make sure to have something that's a little bit salty inside of your bug out bag as well, because your blood pressure could drop as well when you're on the move. Practice a little bit of cardio if you can. To be honest, America is not the most fit country in the world, so just kind of knowing what I know about cardio. Cardio is a thing that you can excel in really quickly if you push yourself there. If you are in a bug out situation and you're looking out your window and you're like, oh my God, my neighbor's house is getting raided by a group of people, but you better run. Like, you better hightail it out of there, or you better be locked and loaded. That's pretty much your two options. Hopefully you got yourself one of those, AR-14s that Joe Biden hates. Yeah, because, those things work really well for spray and pray, as they call it, spray and pray guns. Pretty much as far as I am concerned, and in the way that I see it, when it comes to a survival situation, to me, all laws are tossed out the window. I am not going to care about laws. The other thing is that I already have a circle of people that are real close. We have an understanding. We have a plan. Everything is set in order. Do not dare expect me to carry you, because I definitely will not. If you have that in your mind and you have the wrong idea about me, I love you guys. I love a lot of people, and I have a very big heart, but the people that I am concerned about and worried about are my number one priority, not you. So you need to keep that in mind as well. The other thing is that if you hate guns, it's okay. It's cool. But try to make friends with somebody that does have them. Get involved with a group. Bring something to the table. Okay, so let's say you are a really good cook. Okay, great. You're a really good cook. You're really good in the kitchen. But you know what? Joe Blow, he's a hunter. And he can go out there. He can kill a turkey. He can kill raccoons and squirrels and rabbits or whatever. Actually, rabbits pretty damn good to eat. And he could shoot a deer in the middle of nowhere, and he could bring it to you. And if you're a cook, you know what? You just brought something very important to the table, because that dude's been out hunting all day. He's been out running miles and miles with a rifle on his shoulder. He finally bags himself a deer, drags it all the way back. That's a lot of energy. The last thing that dude wants to do is sit there, chop up a deer, and cook it. But he will if it's a survival situation. So that's just something that you need to consider, is maybe get yourself a group of people that you can absolutely trust, a group of people that you can stand and tolerate, people that you love, but just make sure that you could bring something to the table. If you don't know a trade or anything about anything, then you know what, maybe you could be really good in water supply or water purification. Maybe you should jump on YouTube or figure out ways that you can make a fire and keep everybody warm, let's just say. Or maybe you're a military guy and, you've seen action before and you've been in live action. Well, honestly, I don't need to preach that. You know what your job is to do, and you'd be very damn good at it too. You'd be the best. But it's just a few little things that just bother me that I see in society, and I see a lot of the younger generation just kind of falling down on their face. I see a lot of them panicking, and I see a lot of them not being prepared, thinking that Starbucks will always be there forever for them. Just going to the store to make a purchase of food will always be there, or going out to dinner, or just jumping on an app. All that could potentially stop. So therefore, you will be in a situation that you don't know anything about because you've never been there. So if this is all new to you, it's okay. Don't feel dumb. Like, it's perfectly fine. Um, the reason why that I am like so on top of this is because of the Obama administration. From what I know, and the things I have seen that the Obama administration did over in Ferguson and what they did in Chicago, and the amount of control that's out there, it's absolutely ridiculous. Today I went into a sporting goods shop for some ammo just to kind of look around. They were sold out of my ammo, but they were also selling out very quickly of guns. So you have two different type of people. You have the person who's going to protect with a rifle and then or a gun or whatever. Then you have the other person who's going to kill you with a rifle. So which version of a person are you going to want to hang out with or be around? It's just something that you guys really, really do need to consider. What if everything just stops and we're thrown right back into the dark ages because of this? It's not, like I said, it's not the virus that troubles me. It's what you guys are doing. It's the collapse of society. And if anything is going to hurt our government and hurt us as civilians, it's going to be you. It's going to be the people that are unprepared and the panic. And when that happens, martial law sets in. The blue helmets come here. If you guys don't know anything about the United Nations, by all means, you don't want to know much about the United Nations. Martial law, you guys do not want to know anything about martial law. I'll just put it to you this way. How would you feel if people walked in your house, raped your woman, slapped your kid in the face, and then dumped a bullet in your heart and walked out with a sandwich? That's what it's about. Like, that's how bad it could potentially get. If you can, pull all of your money out of the bank. Pull out of the stock market if you can, because right now you're just losing. It's going to get worse, especially with the schools closed. Take out any cash that you can, because the banks are not going to be happy when they're like, okay, you can only pull out $100 at a rip now because the bank's not going to have money. So there's just a few things just to consider. Also, if you are in a bug out situation, shut your location off on your phone if you don't want to be found, because people will find you for sure. Turn your phone completely off. Speaking about your phone, back to the bug out bag thing, you should have CBs in there, or walkie-talkies in there, so you can communicate with other people that are around you on the same channel. What I have is I actually have a CB/scanner handheld, kind of like what the police would have, where we can listen in on truck drivers and whatever's going on the highway. We can communicate very long distance. That's just something that you should look into as well for communication. Pretty much we're going to be forced to become Boy Scouts if the shit hits the fan. If not, then great. Absolutely great. It scares me knowing that society could fall as quickly as I see it. And, people are bugging out, like I said, over toilet paper. What the hell are you guys going to do when there's no more food? What are you guys going to do when Joe Blow runs to the store and buys out every canned good and every piece of meat and every box food? And they're hoarding it all, and you ain't got shit. You ain't got nothing. And you go back to that store in a day and there's still nothing on the shelves. You go back the next day, there's nothing there. 3 days go by, you're starving. Now the store is closed, there's nothing on the shelves anymore. It's just something just for you guys to consider and think about. Also, the other thing too is don't let nobody know what you have. Keep that to yourself. Unless you have a group of people that you do trust, then that's something different. But don't go putting pictures on Facebook being like, oh, hey, look at my toilet paper mountain, or hey, look, I've been couponing, look at all the food I have stashed up. Keep that shit to yourself, because if not, well, there's going to be people that are going to remember that picture in their head, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to show up at your door, and it can get pretty violent. And I mean, it can get violent. Look at what they did over in Egypt. Look at Italy right now. Over in Egypt, when the collapse of the dollar had happened, oh my goodness. Wow, they had some severe panic. And their government was pretty much killing their people just to maintain order. Who wants to see that? I definitely don't want to see that in my lifetime. I don't ever want to see that in America. And I don't want my children or my daughter to see it. I don't want my grandkids to see it. I don't ever want to see that in America. But if it happens, it's going to be pretty much the fault of you guys. It's going to be the fault of, who do you vote in for politicians? Who do you trust? These are like severe things. If you look right now, as far as I see it, and I hate to say this, but this is all the Democrats' fault. This is, as far as I see it, Nancy Pelosi didn't get her way. Everybody on the Democratic side in the Senate tried to impeach Donald Trump. That didn't work. So the best way to do it is to have this happen. And the plan that they have is so far working. It's successful. That's really, really scary because everybody knows that the coronavirus is not as harmful as the influenza flu, or influenza, whatever it is there. It's not as harmful as that. More people die from the flu every year than coronavirus ever. You know what I mean? But they're just using it as an excuse. They're putting a fear in the public. Stop watching CNN, which is the Clinton News Network. Stop watching Fox News, even though I do like Fox News. But if you want to know the truth, then actually sit there and listen to a politician speak. Listen to their speech, their 30, 40-minute speech. And then you can be an adult and you can determine your own opinion. Stop watching the news. Stop and take a look around at our own environment. See what's happening. As far as I see it right now, they're converting the aviation mall into a big ass hospital. You go there, park over on the side of Target, and you're gonna see all these little construction bins. What are they doing there? Think about that. Think about all the heavy duty construction right now that they're doing in Walmart. Look at when you first walk into Walmart, you see the front. They have gates now that open and close with little speakers on top. So take a look at that as well. Take a look at all these 5G towers that are out there that are killing all these birds, and the radiation heat that's coming from them is absolutely extreme. It can definitely hurt a human. What if that is turned up to be used against us as a super weapon? That's just something else to think about. There's just so many different realities, but definitely the bug out bag. I support the idea of the bug out bag. I think everybody should have that. God forbid of a home fire and you and your family need to get out, what are you going to grab? It's just something that everybody should keep with them, either in the car, or they should keep it, close by. They should keep it in their bedroom, and everybody should be responsible for their bug out bag. The last thing that you need to say is, oh man, little Janie forgot her bug out bag, and oh crap, I got to go back to go get it. No, little Janie needs to learn to keep her bug out bag on her. It is her responsibility. It is a priority. So this is just a few simple tips. Form a little group with people, make a little alliance with people, with others, set a plan, think about the worst case scenario. And like I said, this video is not out here to scare anybody. It's just to make you guys aware. So pull out of the market, pull any money that you can out of anything, any way that you can. If you can stock up a little bit here and there, by all means, stock up. That's definitely a priority as far as I see it. And for sure, if you want to invest in anything, get yourself some alcohol, maybe some bartering things, because what if our economy collapses and the dollar ain't worth nothing? So you know what? You may be able to buy a ham or trade a bottle of vodka for a ham for your family, or whatever. So that's just a few things to think about. But for sure, if you want to invest in brass and invest in iron. Read between the lines. Hopefully this video does not get taken down. Good luck, everybody.